Welcome back to Food Math Friday, episode 6. I'm Amanda, the Center Director for Mathnasium of Great Neck, VA, and guess what we're making today? Can you guess? If you didn't guess, it's double fudge brownies with mint frosting. They're gonna be epic. I'm just saying. Got all my ingredients back there. Look how much chocolate I had to buy for these double fudge brownies. So much chocolate. Let's get started. Today we're starting by putting a medium saucepan over medium heat. And we're going to throw a whole stick of butter and 8 ounces of chocolate in it. Half cup of butter, 8 ounces of chocolate. Now the recipe says that you can use chopped chocolate, but I like chocolate chips just because it's already pre-chopped. And now I'm going to stir this constantly over the heat for 5 minutes until it's all nice and melted. So this is taking way longer than 5 minutes for me, guys, because I did a dumb and did not read my recipe right before I did this. And so I forgot to chop my butter. Smaller pieces make it easier to melt faster. So if you're going to make this recipe, chop your butter. Almost there, just a couple more lumps to go. And there we go, a nice smooth chocolate, which we're then going to move over into a large bowl, and we're going to let it cool for 10 minutes. While my chocolate is cooling, you can see that I've moved my oven rack down to the lower third of the oven, and we're going to preheat to 350 degrees. I've also foil lined my 11 by 7 inch baking pan. Make sure that you have overhang on all sides. Alright, now we're going to add in a cup of sugar and stir. And that's our chocolate and sugar mixture. Now we're going to add in 1 egg at a time. Egg number 1, egg number 2, and egg number 3. Adding a precarious teaspoon of vanilla and then whisking again. Now using my handy dandy spatula, I'm going to fold in 3/4 of a cup of flour and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now we're going to fold in 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. Now we're going to take all this glorious batter and pour it into our pan. Now we're going to pop this pan into the oven for 37 to 45 minutes or until our brownies start pulling away from the edges. And now we're on to frosting. I'm going to be using my handy dandy stand mixer with a medium-sized bowl. I am adding 3 tablespoons of room temperature butter to my bowl. And I'm adding 2 ounces of room temperature cream cheese. And we're going to beat until smooth. And we're going to beat for about 1 minute. Now we're going to add 2 cups of powdered sugar. And 3 tablespoons heavy cream. Tablespoon number 1. Tablespoon number 2. Tablespoon number 3. Starting to look like frosting. Now if you wanted to stop here, you'd have a pretty dang good cream cheese frosting. But we're not doing just regular frosting. We're doing mint frosting. Time to add some mint. And as the recipe says, be careful with mint flavoring. It can be very strong very quickly, so start with a little bit and work your way up to taste. It's kind of hard to see, but I'm going with just under a 1/4 teaspoon of mint extract. That's what we're going to start with. So heads up, for my mintiness level, apparently I needed 5 times what the recipe called for because it just wasn't minty enough for me. The recipe calls for a 1/4 teaspoon. I put in 1.25 teaspoons. Now we're adding 2 drops of green food coloring. And that should get us our minty color. And that is our minty green frosting. I've pulled my brownies out of the pan, and now I'm going to spread out the foil and frost them. I think it's the best frosting job I've ever done. Now, my recipe book does recommend that for cutting this, you run your knife under hot water and then dry before you cut. And repeat this process in between each cut so that you get nice, beautiful edges. So that technique didn't work so great for me, but you know what? They're still pretty well cut. Super uneven though. That's okay. You know what? It's baking. So there are my beautiful cut brownies. I definitely did not like how they all stuck to the aluminum foil. Just saying. Not a fan of that part of this recipe. Alright guys, final product. Obviously I put math symbols on it because, hello, Mathnasium. So, am I being cute when I say that chocolate and mint are equally as delicious? Or am I being obtuse about it? If you don't know what those math jokes are about, you should totally contact Mathnasium. Mathnasium.com/GreatNeckVA, in particular if you'd like to check out my center or take advantage of our complimentary online assessment for your students. You get a copy of the results, and we'd love to tell you more about our program and how Mathnasium makes math make sense. Have a great day, guys.